everybody, Titty back with another video. Oh boy, we had 128 players in the draw when this US Open started 2 weeks ago. Now we have only 2 left men standing who will compete to win the US Open title on Sunday. And those 2 players that are left men standing is, of course, Novak Djokovic, the current world number 2, versus Daniil Medvedev, the world number 3 from Russia. These two was the 2 of the 3 biggest favorites coming into this tournament. The 3 biggest favorites was, of course, Alcaraz, Medvedev, and Djokovic coming into this tournament. Alcaraz was crushed out. Medvedev knocked him out in the semifinals yesterday. And now Medvedev will face not another tough opponent like Ben Shelton said about Djokovic. Medvedev will face a 23 times Grand Slam champion opponent. That is the difference. Alright, my tennis friends on the road. So let's get into this preview. The head-to-head is 9-5 to Novak Djokovic. They face each other 40 times and Novak leads the head-to-head 9-5. They face each other 3 times at majors. Novak leads 2-1 in Grand Slam matches. They face each other 2 times in Grand Slam finals. It is 1-all. So, how do I see this match unfolding? First of all, Novak Djokovic, he knows that Medvedev is one of few players that can challenge him from the baseline, especially on those cross-court backhand exchanges. Not many can do that. Medvedev is one of them. Zverev is also one of them when Zverev is on his top of his game. And Alcaraz is also one of them who can challenge Novak Djokovic on the cross-court backhand exchanges. So Medvedev is a tough opponent for Novak Djokovic. Medvedev give kind of the same medicine to Djokovic what Djokovic gives to him, with consistent from the baseline, solid from the baseline, really good from the baseline, and just not giving free points away from the baseline. And that is the kind of medicine Djokovic gives to everybody in the tour. So now when Djokovic faces Medvedev, he feels like he's facing himself, but a worse version of himself. Medvedev, he will like his chances coming into this final. He has beaten Djokovic before. They have faced each other 2 times already this year. And one time in Adelaide when Djokovic won, and one time in Dubai where Medvedev won. So the head-to-head this year is even Steven, but it is the US Open final, of course, is a much bigger match than what was the case in Dubai and what was the case in Adelaide. So for Djokovic to win this match, he needs to do a much better job than last time they faced each other in a Grand Slam match, which was 2 years ago at exactly the same event. It was the US Open final 2 years ago, where Djokovic did only 44 first serves in, which is too little. He won 80% when his first serve, which is good, but he won only 40% when his second serve. It was there Djokovic lost a lot of points in winning points when his second serve. Compared with Novak, he himself didn't land many first serves in that US Open final 2 years ago, 57% first serves in Medvedev. But Medvedev won, and he won also 80% behind his first serve, exactly like Djokovic. But the difference was Medvedev was winning 58% behind his second serve. He was winning the battle from the baseline. You know, guys, what I've said before. The player who wins the battle from the baseline is the player who wins the tennis match. It was exactly what happened between Djokovic and Medvedev in that US Open final 2 years ago. Alright, so and Djokovic couldn't hit through Medvedev in that US Open final 2 years ago. He did only 27 winners and 38 unforced errors. So Djokovic does 11 more unforced errors than winners in that US Open final 2 years ago. Medvedev, on the other hand, he does 38 winners and 31 unforced errors. So Medvedev does 7 more winners and unforced errors in that US Open final 2 years ago. And Medvedev, he took his chances. He had 8 breakpoint opportunities. He converts in 4 of them. Djokovic, which is 50%, Djokovic had 6 breakpoint opportunities. He converted in only 1 of them, which is 17%. So you need to take your opportunities. which Alcaraz also didn't do against Medvedev in the semi-final, where Alcaraz had 9 break point opportunities and converts in only 1 of them, and Medvedev had 7 break point opportunities and he converts in 3 of them. So when one of the best tennis players in the world face each other, which obviously the case is between Alcaraz and Medvedev, and with Djokovic and Medvedev as well here now in the final, the player who will take his chances will win the tennis matches, because both of the players will have chances. I remember that final 2 years ago. Medvedev was serving good. He was doing a lot of aces. He did 16 aces and 9 double faults. So that was a really good serving. That was a really good serving performance from Medvedev that US Open final 2 years ago. Djokovic didn't serve that good. He did 6 aces, 3 double faults. It was decent, but he was outserved for sure from Medvedev, at least on the ace department, where Medvedev did 16 aces in that final 2 years ago. So let's see how this match tomorrow will unfold. We will have a lot of long rallies. I believe that the player who will be the more consistent one from baseline will be the player who will win the match, because we will have a long rallies. Djokovic knows what he will get from Medvedev. He knows he will not get any surprises. Besides, I think Medvedev will go big on second serves, exactly like he did against Alcaraz, because Medvedev will be afraid of Novak's second serve returns. So he will go big on second serves. Medvedev will do a lot of double faults, between 5 to 10 double faults. I believe Medvedev will do in the match, because he doesn't want Novak to crush his second serves. So Djokovic, he needs to play better. He needs to play better than he did 2 years ago. That's for sure. And I think he will do that, because it is a kind of different match. He will not go for the calendar slam like he did 2 years ago. He will not be as tired like he was 2 years ago, because he was dropping a lot of sets 2 years ago in that US Open final against Medvedev. That is not been the case this year. This year he has dropped only 2 sets in 6 matches, and that was in the 3rd round against Medvedev, and he will be less nervous, I believe, Djokovic as well. Medvedev, I don't know, Medvedev also won his matches in 3 sets and 4 sets, all his 6 matches. So he's not played any 5-set battle. So he will be pretty fresh as well. Medvedev has pretty good stamina. But I believe that Djokovic, he needs to find a way winning points against Medvedev, because he cannot win all the points from the baseline. No, I don't think he will win all the points from the baseline. He needs to do something different. He needs to play a little like Alcaraz does against Medvedev, but not as much as Alcaraz does, because Alcaraz attacks the net very, very often, which I don't think that is the right strategy from Djokovic. Djokovic needs to sometimes play from the baseline, sometimes attack the net, sometimes slice. I think Djokovic will use a lot of his slice, because Medvedev, even though he takes the slice pretty good, but he doesn't do it that superior. So Djokovic will slice a lot. I think Djokovic needs to change direction with his backhand and play some down the line backhands, and not stick himself in that corner and be stubborn and just play cross-court backhands, because Medvedev can hit that cross-court backhand the entire day. So Djokovic needs to change that dynamic with go down the line with his backhand. Even though Djokovic is not hitting that down the line backhand as good as he did 7-8 years ago, but he needs that down the line backhand. Will be a big key for Novak. Another big key for Novak, he needs to be landing over 60% first serve in. He cannot be landing 54% first serve in like he did against Medvedev in that US Open final 2 years ago. No, he needs to do better than that. He needs to be over 65% in landing first serve in, and then do damage immediately behind his first serve with taking away with a serve plus forehand winner, or serve plus backhand winner, or go attack the net. He needs to be creative when he lands his first serve. He cannot go into long exchanges from a baseline with Medvedev every single time, because Medvedev is a beast from a baseline. He is a wall from a baseline, and Medvedev can maybe outlast Djokovic, because after all, Djokovic is the older player. 10-11 years older he is, so he needs to be sure to win the serve battle with and the serve plus serve plus game when Novak lands his first serve. He needs to make sure to not land too many second serve, because if he does that, then Djokovic is toast. And to be able to do that, he needs to be landing over 65% per serve in, because Medvedev is one of few players who can handle Novak Djokovic from the baseline. Another key for Djokovic is he needs to take his chances. He cannot be like he was 2 years ago at US Open when he had 6 break point opportunities and converting only one of them. He needs to be better than that. He cannot be like Alcaraz either on the semifinal. Well, Alcaraz had 9 break point opportunities and he converted only one of them. Djokovic needs to do a better job in the break points conversions as well, and Djokovic also needs to return good. He needs to return Medvedev's serve good, because Medvedev will give Novak a lot of looks on second serves. I believe so. And yeah, Medvedev will go big on second serves. I'm expecting him to do that because he is afraid of Novak's second serve returns. But when Medvedev will hit some slow second serves, then Djokovic needs to show who is the greatest serve return of time and punish Medvedev's second serve. He needs to do that. Another key for Djokovic is he needs to have depth. Depth is extremely important. Like Medvedev had against Alcaraz. Medvedev has great depth against Alcaraz. Djokovic needs to have great depth against Medvedev, because if you have the ball landing on the baseline, nobody in the world will have an easy time playing tennis with that kind of a depth. With that kind of a depth in tennis matches. So Djokovic needs to be sure to have great depth in this match. There you have Novak's keys to the victory. Medvedev's key to the victory, of course, he needs to be good from the baseline. It is always a big key in tennis, being good from the baseline. He needs to challenge Novak Djokovic from the baseline and send the message, you know what, you are the greatest baseline player of all time off clay. But I am pretty good baseline player as well. And you are not as good baseline player as you used to be 7-8 years ago. And I will demonstrate this and I will prove this to the entire world by challenging you from the baseline, by refusing to miss. Medvedev needs to be a wall. He needs to make sure Djokovic hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra shots until Novak pulls the trigger and makes unforced errors, because Novak Djokovic, he doesn't like hitting extra shots. He doesn't like playing high percentage tennis. Novak Djokovic likes playing low percentage tennis, where he doesn't take big cuts on the ball. And when Medvedev will be that wall, like he almost always is, Djokovic then will be forced to pull the trigger. He will be forced to pull the trigger. So Medvedev needs to make sure to be really solid from the baseline. Another key for Medvedev is he needs to also be landing over 60% first serve in, because it is, after all, he's facing the greatest serve returner of all time. Even though he's not as great serve returner like he used to be, he needs to make sure Djokovic doesn't have too much looks on second serves. Another key for Medvedev is to take his chances. It is always a big key in tennis, like he did 2 years ago at that US Open final against Djokovic, where he had 4 out of 8 break point opportunities that he converted. He was 50%. So he needs to take his chances as well, Medvedev. Another key for Medvedev is he needs to. Djokovic is a great front runner. He needs to be close to Djokovic at the start of the match, because if Medvedev comes down one set, then Djokovic is a great front runner, like we have seen Djokovic in the past. But if Medvedev takes the first set or the second set, even the second set as well, like he did in that US Open final 2 years ago, then Djokovic he maybe started to not believe in himself, and then Medvedev can win in 3 or 4 sets. So Medvedev needs to be, he needs to make sure to be to start the match really good. Another key I forgot to say about both players, not only for Djokovic, Djokovic needs to be playing better with his serve. I have not been impressed with Novak's serve the last 2-3 months, when he has been a breakup, or when he has been able to serve out matches or sets. He has not been able to do that successfully. We saw that in Cincinnati. We have seen that in this US Open. Djokovic has not served out matches like we are used to. He's feeling more nervous in bigger moments, in pressure points, when the chips are down. He's not delivering. And that will be a key for Djokovic. He needs to deliver in this final, because Medvedev will will throw the entire kitchen sink towards Novak. And Novak will do vice versa. So this match will be decided about who will have the best day, who will play the best match of the day, who will find the best form of the day. That is how this match will be decided, who will win this one. So I think this will be a close battle. I don't think we will see a 3-set victory for neither of players, neither for Medvedev, neither for Djokovic, because when they face each other in 2 Grand Slam finals, which are the only 2 Grand Slam finals they face each other, which was both times in 2021, Australian Open final, Djokovic won in straight sets, US Open final, 2021, Medvedev won in straight sets. I don't think we'll have a straight set victory here. I don't know. Maybe we'll have, you don't know, but I have a feeling we'll have a more colossal battle. I think Medvedev will really like his chances. He's coming to this final with great confidence. I think he will test Djokovic on the baseline. He will just refuse to miss. He will send a message to Djokovic and say, all right, take me from the baseline. We're going in long exchanges. I will go with you in cross-court backhand exchanges, because we will see a lot of cross-court backhand exchanges. But it is there Djokovic needs to show his greatness and just change direction and hit down the line backhands. Because in those cross-court backhands, if they go into long exchanges, Djokovic, I don't know if he will win or lose more of those battles. It will be even Steven in winning those cross-court backhand exchanges. So who will win this one? I think Djokovic will be more relaxed. I think he still will be nervous. He's human after all. He's playing for his 24th Grand Slam title and equally Margaret Court's record, male or female. She's the player who has the most Grand Slam record, male or female. So he will be nervous. He's trying to beat Medvedev. He knows Medvedev is one of his biggest rivals, but he knows that Medvedev will not give him any big surprises. He's not Alcaraz, where Medvedev will play a lot of drop shots, where Medvedev will attack the net, where Medvedev will pull the trigger. He knows that the only surprise he will get from Medvedev is Medvedev will go big on second serves. But I think Djokovic will be prepared for that. So I fancy Djokovic here. I don't know. I feel that Djokovic will be the steadier player, the cleaner player, the more consistent player. I believe Djokovic will do a better match than he did 2 years ago at US Open, because he will feel fresher. He will not be as tired as he was 2 years ago, and he will be less nervous, because after all, he's not going for the calendar Grand Slam. Huge deal here. He was really nervous in that match, 2021 US Open final. And I don't think Medvedev will do the same kind of a great match he did 2 years ago. Medvedev was pretty clean that final. Like I said, 16 aces, man, 9 double faults, wins 80% behind his first serve, which also was good, but he won 58% behind his second serve. I don't think Medvedev will win as many points behind his second serve like he did in that US Open final 2 years ago. I think that Djokovic will challenge Medvedev much more in winning points behind second serve than he did 2 years ago in that US Open final, because it was there Medvedev really won the match. Djokovic won only 40% of the second serve points in that US Open final 2 years ago. Medvedev won 58% of the second serve points. So I think Djokovic will do a better job in winning points behind second serve. He will chip and charge sometimes. He will attack the net sometimes. He will just play some slices. So he will just give Medvedev little different balls. Djokovic will not play tennis only from the baseline, because he knows if he plays tennis only from the baseline, Djokovic can lose this match. Medvedev is a player that can defeat Djokovic from the baseline. And Djokovic also will take his chances more, I believe, because the 2 years ago in that US Open final, Djokovic was really not effective on breakpoint conversions. Like I said, 1 out of 6 breakpoint opportunities he converted. So I think Djokovic will win this match. I'm not sure, of course. I think Djokovic will do it. I think Djokovic will win his 24th Grand Slam title. But I'm not counting Medvedev out like many out there are doing. I really am not. If Medvedev proves me wrong like he did against Alcaraz, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. But I think that Djokovic will come into this match fresher, less nervous. He will have a clear game plan ready, and he will just do a better match than he did 2 years ago. That is my feeling. He will land more first serve in. He will do more damage behind his second serve, because he did pretty good damage behind his first serve in that US Open final 2 years ago. Like I said, he won 80% behind his first serve in that US Open final 2 years ago. But he didn't do damage behind his second serve. So I think he will do, and he will take his chances more. He will break serve more than once, which he did 2 years ago against Medvedev. Medvedev will do his best. He will give Novak a hell around for his money. I think this match will be close. I think this match will go to 5 sets, and I think Djokovic wins this one in 5 sets. That is my feeling. Maybe I will be wrong. Maybe Medvedev proves me wrong and win his second Grand Slam title. But I believe that Novak Djokovic wins his 24th Grand Slam title and defeats Daniil Medvedev in 5 sets. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.